Hello, welcome back to 911 Scales. Today we're taking a look at another 996 Porsche 911, in particular the mighty 996 GT2. And with most older models I pick for my reviews, this one also is more important as it may appear on first glance. For you who tuned in for the very first time, thank you very much for checking out my channel. My name is Michael here, 911 Scales. We are exploring the Porsche world and in particular the Porsche model cars, which have also always a very interesting story to tell, like on this 911 GT2. If you're interested in this, make sure to hit the subscribe button here down below. And also feel free to use the timestamps down here in the timeline, because with this one the history lesson will be a bit longer before we get to the walk around on the model car up close through my macro lens. So the GT2 of the 996 generation 911, the bad 911, because it was the first water-cooled 911 and has also some funky headlights and is therefore the antichrist for Porsche purists. I personally really like the 996 and I think it truly deserves some more attention, and this GT2 really has the pedigree for that. The GT2 came out with the facelift of the 996 in the year 2000, and with 462 horsepower back in the day, it was a monster of a car, pretty much very similar to the latest GT2 as we have today. But Porsche wasn't done with it. In 2003, at the very end of the 996 production run, they brought this year out the Mark II GT2 with 482 horsepower, GT3 wheels and a carbon design package, which also saved a few kilograms. Of the Mark II, Porsche made only very few cars. Some sources claim as low as 75 cars were produced, and yeah, which pretty much you could think of this one as a Mark II of the GT2 RS of the 996 911. And it is also very important because it brought some firsts for Porsche. Like for example, for the first time ever on a production car, Porsche introduced carbon ceramic brakes. Many people thought it was a Carrera GT which brought this, but no, now you know it. And that is also the case on this model here. And if you're wondering how you can tell apart the two GT2 versions, the Mark I and the Mark II, both models are in silver, but it's actually rather easy. The Mark II has the GT3 wheels and this carbon wing, while the other model, the Mark I, gets the turbo twist wheels, which look better in my opinion, but it also has a silver wing as well. Both versions were made by Minichamps for Porsche and are now nearly 20 years old. This one here is 17 years to be exact. And what is also cool is that the 997 GT2 RS and 991 GT2 RS are also both made in silver with carbon details, and these three together form a very cool group. And yeah, now you know why this 996 GT2 is so cool and why I picked it for a review. So now let's grab the macro lens and get up close. Let's start our walk around at the rear of the model end with this massive carbon rear wing, which has also very cool downward facing carbon side blades. Minichamps did a good job with it and the model held up well over all the years. The lights, I would say, are the worst part on the model, but these are always a problem on models from back in the day. Then we have the third brake light here and the GT2 designation here. The two exhausts look tiny compared to modern exhausts, especially compared to the modern 991.2 GT2 RS. Then finally we have these two air vents here, which are the same as on the regular turbo. On the side we can see the massive turbo specific air intake and the GT3 wheels, which are different from the Mark I GT2. Behind that we see the newly introduced PCCB ceramic brakes with the yellow brake calipers installed. These look good and Porsche is also written on them, but the discs are lacking any details and are not drilled like you would expect it from the new models. The door mirrors are also in carbon fiber, and with many models of that time they did not add a side window so that you could actually look very easy inside of the model. The side indicators here is just painted, and the fact that it is orange is actually a fault. This would only be the case on US spec cars. Here in Europe these would be transparent. The front of the car looks extremely aggressive with this huge air intakes here and the splitter. Overall it looks great, and even the lights, something I would actually always criticize on a Minichamps model, these are actually good. You can even see the tiny little orange light bulb for the indicators. GT2 specific is this air vent here in front of the bonnet, as is the whole front assemblage down here as well. And another little detail they thought of is the tow hook cover here. Something which they could have added would be some mesh in the air vents to represent the grills. The interior is all black, and they also unfortunately made one big mistake. The real car is obviously fitted with the distinctive 996 bucket seats like you would find it on a GT3 or GT3 RS, but here on the model this is not the case. These are the standard seats, and they also forgot to delete the rear seats. A GT2 is not equipped with rear seats. Like with the 996.1 GT3 I reviewed some time ago, link is also down in the description below. I think they just wanted to cut the cost of this model and included the standard interior. Otherwise the interior is great. The dashboard is highly detailed, and since there are no side windows it is very easy to see in. The instruments look wonderful. The steering wheel even has the wiper and indicator stores, and also there is a little map on the sat-nav screen. So the front, the dashboard looks really nice. So yeah, for its age, it's holding up rather well, right? And coming to our scores, it is also doing quite nicely. The first are price, and these are costing around 35 euros nowadays online, giving it an 8 out of 10. Quality is good, but not as good as the latest Minichamps model, giving it a 6 out of 10. Details are also good, but I take a point off for the wrong interior, giving it also a 6 out of 10. Rarity isn't that high, it is not a limited edition, which I think is a good thing in itself. But yeah, rarity, I give it here 4 out of 10. Significance is very high. It isn't the first GT2, that was the 993, but that is a rather unique car in itself, and I think that the 996 GT2 started the lineages of modern GT2s as we know it, giving it here a 9 out of 10. Which means that the Mark II 996 GT2 gets a 33 out of 50 and puts it here against some other GT Porsches I reviewed so far. And with that, the old monster sits very high, only surpassed by the mighty 918 Spider supercar and the latest 991.2 GT3, which as a model is a bit more desirable. The scoreboard with all the models and also the scores in their respected categories, you can see that as always it is linked down in the description below. So what do you think of the 996 GT2? I think its score is very well deserved, and especially the Mark II version is a must-have for everyone who's collecting Porsche GT model cars. And yeah, with that I'm sending you to, as always, to my high-resolution pictures, which always look awesome on the big screen in 4K resolution. Thank you very much for tuning in again. If you like this review and this 911 GT2, make sure to hit that like button here down below, and if you're not already a subscriber and like to spread the passion for Porsche model cars, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. That's it for now. Tune in next time when I explore the Porsche world in 911 scales. Thank you very much. Anna, ciao.